Magic. Here we are, baby.
All right, welcome back to
What Up
Eugene. Of course, I am your co-host, Lars. I am joined today, as always, by Mr. Daniel. What's going on today, Daniel?
I'm excellent. Excellent, Dan.
Well done.
Here's the intro for our guest, Dan.
Oh.
Yeah.
As you guys may have heard, this is our first episode where we're recording guitar with the guests. So there'll just be musical noodlings thrown in throughout. Whenever I do a really awkward cut, you'll be able to tell because the guitar track will skip a couple beats. Hey, don't play guitar when I'm saying something embarrassing.
I want to interrupt that.
Michael McCarthy, musical man in the studio.
Music Man. Many people have said Disney Music Man was inspired by Michael.
It's true.
From the 20s.
I was there, Time traveler.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
We last heard Michael in the break music for Cassidy's episode.
That was episode 7. 8, 7? Who knows?
A little trailer for what's to come and what is coming now.
I'm so
In the past.
I'm so lost, Dan. We recorded 2 episodes last week, and then we missed a week 2, but now I don't know where we are. We're back. If you heard last week, we were on the lav mics. We're back on the regular mics. I pretty much hated them before I even edited it.
You know what? We tried it, though. That's what's important.
Yeah, it was, the chairs are too squeaky in the studio for condenser mics. That's the deal. Like, there's too much chair noise.
Yeah.
Sitting on your pillow right now.
Let's,
The ass group is a new thing now.
yeah, let's get into the first segment that we like to do, which is the one with alcohol in it, because it's got the alcohol in it.
Because it
Like
has
booze.
alcohol.
The peer-reviewed beer review.
So our guest requested dry ciders, and we
Yeah.
came through.
Rather good. I say, Chabby.
Hey, this is the first episode we've done with the lights on in a while, so we can actually read the label of the thing we're drinking.
You usually do with the lights off?
Yeah, it's really moody. It's awesome. It's just hard to read the beer
Flip
labels.
the switch and see how you feel about it. Oh, it's a little too dark.
I don't know what we're drinking.
That's black.
Or do you like that?
Cascadia something. Oh, Cider Works United dry hard apple cider, 6.5%. Comes in a can. It's like $3, so it's not too expensive.
Comes from Portland,
16
Oregon.
ounces. Portland. Let's have a sip. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice sipping noise we got there.
Ringo, how do you enjoy that Cascadia?
I think it's rather good, Back in Liverpool, we have these things, we don't have any kind of beers. We just have, the poor water.
No
water
idea.
supply.
He's doing it in Liverpool. He said back in Liverpool. We
Back
didn't have
in
these kind of beers.
Liverpool.
We just had the phone.
I don't understand.
A
That's
song called
racist.
Yellow Submarine.
You could be talking about anything right now.
We don't even know anymore.
Oh my
Can
god.
you believe
What
we got
happened to
him
him?
in studio in Eugene, Oregon?
I can't believe he's still
Peace and
alive.
love. Peace and love.
Hey, can I get your signature?
Of course.
Oh no, that's not right. Ringo says no signatures.
Yeah, Ringo, come on, chill out.
No autographs. No autographs. No one's asking for your autograph, Ringo.
Right here, Ringo.
There you go.
Uh,
A little bit more. That's a good one.
that's a oof.
I wrote you a paragraph for your mother.
Ringo Starr. It's like 10 characters and it takes 2 minutes to write.
Usually I just draw a star.
So, Ringo,
Let's talk about this real quick.
yeah.
So here's how we do it on the show, Michael. I have a rating system between 0 and 300 stars. Some people find that hard.
300.
Yeah, some
That's
people
like Mario Galaxy over here.
Some people do the graphic design and find that annoying. I don't do the graphic design. Dan uses 0 to 5 Larses, which is just a picture of my face. It's it's there. So what we need you to do is figure out how you want to rate this beer and the scale you're rating it on. It could be blank out of blank, and really anything,
How I want to rate it?
Yeah, what's
All right,
your
let's-
rating?
Let's do it. Let's do it with one out of 6 strings.
Go for it.
Because I hit 4. I hit 4 strings. So
That's
6, 5, 4, 3.
Four.
No, yeah, that's it.
That's a four out of 6
4 out of
strings.
6 strings.
God,
for
what a
this one.
rating.
That's pretty good. That's a
Yeah.
high score.
He enjoys this. I'm not musically talented, so I'm just gonna rate mine out of my usual
0 to 5 Lars.
Lars. 3 out of 5, Lars.
3 out of 5.
That's pretty good. That's about 4 out of 6.
You've had better then.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, let's see. How do I feel about this? I think I'm gonna have the harshest rating. It's not that I don't love it. It's pretty good.
It's standard for $1.99, is it?
It's $2.99, so it is actually. I mean,
That's
it's
a
16 ounces, so it's pretty expensive. It's fine. It's smooth. It's not like hard to drink. I'm gonna give it 132 out of 300 stars.
Write that down.
The gradient is great.
Oh, good. What does Ringo give it?
I'll give it 5 out of 5 stars. Peace.
You've got low standards, Ringo.
Now,
I love everything.
Now, I had heard that you no longer that no, I don't do that no more. Is that are you back on the drinking wagon?
Oh, I love it.
Okay. Cocaine too, or
Every Tuesday.
every time?
I love it every Tuesday. Tuesday.
Why don't we just do an episode of Ringo? Why do we even have 2 guests? This is so awkward.
Because Michael, he's a multifaceted artist. He can do many things. He can do impressions.
He's like my friend Bo. Irish name. Terrible.
He can play any song. Name any song, Lars.
No.
Oh, Ode to Joy, to name one.
I can't do it now. There's too much pressure.
I believe that is how Ode to Joy goes.
Yes, that's it.
Super Mario Brothers.
Oh no, that's too hard. Wait, no. There was. I had that. I actually learned that at one point.
Play it instantly without even thinking about
No, I can't do it. No, I can't
it.
do it.
Okay.
Well, there we go.
He's
No,
talented.
Ringo could if he wanted to.
He's
bro.
getting a little mic shy.
He plays the drums.
This is my Ringo. I'm not quite as good as yours.
Sounds kind of like you're Bob Dylan.
Yeah, I pretty much just default to Bob Dylan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's better than.
Speaking of guitar artist, R.I.P. Tom Petty.
I heard. Yeah, that's a real Eugene piece of news there.
It's a sad day. It's always sad when these artists pass away, man. It's like because it's also a teachable moment because I have a lot of students that I teach guitar to, and when these things happen, we kind of reflect for a moment on their artistry of their lives and what they contributed to the music scene, and it's nice to reflect on that, and play a few songs.
Wings coming down is the hardest thing.
And I forgot the rest of the words because I just learned it today. So
there you go, it's an end
For my little song.
that's usually when I play, there's dead silence afterwards. That's
No,
true.
I was waiting. I honestly don't know much Tom Petty, so I didn't know if that was part of the song.
No.
That was nice, though. I liked that.
So I was gonna ask you, and then you started singing anyways. What would you say, Tom? I'll be honest, Tom Petty probably on my list. Haven't gotten to him yet. What would you say he's contributed to music? What are like some of the big things for you?
To me, it's the same thing. Like he's kind of like that guy that everyone knows, but it wasn't to me specifically impactful.
Mhm.
I do like his songs, and that a lot of them are really simple, and simplicity is not necessarily a bad thing. It's not to say that simple means terrible, but
No, I think simple is really good. I think that's why the White Stripes were so good was because
yeah.
I think Jack said after the band broke up at one point that because Meg was just learning to play drums, she kind of every time he wanted to get kind of crazy, she kind of brought him back down to just kind of really simple 4/4 stuff. And with 2 people, like just the kind of raw energy of the music, it works better.
She had those things really hard, dude. Like it's because it's so simple, and she was just like banging away in the cymbals. It had this raw energy about it,
Oh,
and
sure, yeah.
The same thing with I think Tom Petty's songs. They're just the chords are simple, and the message is clear. It's relatable to everybody, and he had built a career on this beautiful thing. I don't know.
How'd you get into music? I know you're from the East Coast, or where are you from?
East Coast, New Jersey, yeah, Jersey Shore. Jersey Shore.
Wow.
Forget about it.
Does it live up to all
Already
the stereotypes?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a thing. It's there's the things that you see in the show are trumped up stereotypes, but Trump. Huh. Yeah, he lives nearby. Like the end of my island, I could see Atlantic City and see all that crap he built. Yeah, that's been to his casino.
Oh,
and
cool.
That was
First guest I think we've ever had who's been to the Trump casino.
yeah, it's cute. It's not really my thing. But you go to a bachelor party and that's what they do. They want to go sniff cocaine in the back of a limo and go to a casino or whatever. And it's yeah, okay, let's go. Yeah, let's go do that. Shit, it sounds fun.
Hey,
Sure, yeah.
were you playing music back then in New Jersey?
Yeah,
Okay.
Jersey Shore scene.
How'd you get your start in music?
Well, I learned to play saxophone when I was a kid from my grandfather gave me a saxophone, and then my dad had guitars, and I learned to play from him.
There's different types of sax, right? Because I actually, for my family has like a Secret Santa, and I made a joke with my uncle about a saxophone, and he was like, "Well, which one do you play?" And I didn't know there was more than one type of saxophone.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the major ones are of course soprano, alto, and tenor. I mean, alto is like the really famous one, but there's also like baritone, and then there's like bass. It's all just the different ranges of the sax. So
Yeah, there's
like,
8 altogether.
Yeah, 8.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
contrabass saxophone looks like the guy's holding the guitar. It's fucking huge.
and there's one saxophone that requires 3 people to play.
Oh shoot, is that like the double contrabass, like that?
I don't know
Yeah,
what-
that
yeah.
huge, like it's like 10 feet tall.
Some sort of monstrosity. It looks like some sort of like Dali painting. Like it's just like stretched out and looped across the entire room. There's like one guy on a ladder playing it.
Yeah.
It's an absurdity of the whole thing.
The lungs it would take.
Yeah, like one guy's gonna blow through that giant pipe. I'm like, okay.
That's what she said.
Oh, play
Go
that
for it.
sound clip.
I don't have it.
No.
How'd you make your way over to Oregon? What was your pilgrimage like?
Love, man. I had a band in Philly I was playing with, and I fell in love with a girl who's going to go to school out here, and followed her out.
Oh yeah, that often happens.
Yeah, I find myself not being the only in this town to have that happen to them, to suffer that fate of love. And
Our neighbors right next door, same thing.
yeah, are they still together?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. That's the
Well, it's a little more complicated than that.
Is it?
Yeah, I guess
They're laundry.
3 of them moved together, and then the 2 that were originally together broke up, but the other third stayed.
Nice.
Ooh, Eugene gossip.
Ooh,
That's hot.
Ooh.
Speaking of Eugene gossip, let's talk about law. What are there new laws going into effect at some point in time, Daniel?
The law. Yeah, so basically, as everyone may know, by the time this episode drops, the new distracted driver law should be in effect for about a week.
Yeah, when's it going into effect?
Well, when it went into effect Sunday, which I think is October 1st or something like that.
Oh, sure, yeah. So it'll have been in effect. This is probably about like almost 2 weeks at that point.
What does that mean? Distracted driver law.
Okay, so
I got to hear straight from KZI.
oh, Dan's got that.
So according to KZI, from the words of police officers, previously it was only legal to make phone calls or text while driving, but now you can be cited for using your GPS or playing music. It is also against the law to use your mobile device at a stop sign or a traffic light.
Good God.
So I've heard this several times, and it's still kind of confusing. So I don't know if, like, because hands-free, like the kind of Siri sort of stuff, or OK Google, Bluetooth is built into a lot of cars where you can just say, call so-and-so, so you don't have to look at any screen.
Yeah.
So is that illegal too? Because, like, just the act of talking to someone is distracting?
Anything involving a phone aside from emergency calls like 911 is illegal now.
So, okay, so then,
And
like...
that pertains to Eugene?
That pertains to Oregon. Oregon
So,
as a
okay.
state.
I have I have follow-up questions. Next question. Can you still play music on the radio? What's the difference between playing music on the radio and the phone? Like, obviously, if you're using the phone, but if you just, like, again, Bluetooth, I just hey, play whatever.
That's where there's like some gray area, because like technically you could just be changing your radio and it might look like you're using your phone, and I don't know how that's gonna work. I can tell you,
Right, because you can't use the GPS with, like, the one that's built into the car. That's crazy.
you drive, right, Michael?
Mm-hmm.
Do you use your phone and drive, Michael?
All the time.
No, I do
was
too.
on the way over here, I was using my phone. I was ordering pizza.
And okay,
Yeah.
so now
Where's the pizza at if you were on your way?
He's like, well, it's back in my house getting cold.
Yeah. It showed up without me.
Okay. Another question. So I co-pilot a lot because I don't drive. Say I'm co-piloting, right? And I'm playing music through the car stereo with Bluetooth and Spotify or whatever. Is that allowed because I'm the one handling the phone? Is it like...
It's just the driver.
Like, drivers can't handle the phone, but the phone can be in the car doing stuff?
Yeah, that's the thing. The driver could be using it. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how they're going to monitor
so
this.
Vague. This is so
Yeah.
incredibly vague.
Oh, just the other day I saw a guy making a left turn, straight up phone against his ear.
Oh, sure.
I don't know if it's going to... I think it's meant to be a deterrent.
I know some people who are like, phone against the ear, phone against the ear. Oh, I see a cop 2 blocks away, just drop the phone on the floor. I've been on the other end of that phone
They
call.
crash trying to
where
pick
they're
it
like,
up.
They're like, hey, I'm dropping the phone on the floor. And I'm like, cool, call me back.
You guys know how much it costs?
Oh, yeah, let's talk about the fines. There are fines.
A first offense is $260.
Which is again, very vague. We don't know really what that entitles.
If the cost contributes to an accident, the fine is $435. But that also, a second offense is the same price.
Right.
Lastly, the third offense will cost drivers at least $2,000 and 6 months in jail.
Oh,
Yeah, so just like put your phone in the glove box.
Hard.
You're just gonna,
I use the phone to get to a lot of gigs,
Right.
these wedding gigs on top of mountains and stuff like that. I need to know where I'm going.
GPSs are illegal in Oregon, so just suck it up, I guess.
Well, like, what do you do when you're trying to get to a place, take a wrong turn, and it needs to recalculate, or you need to like type in a new address? I don't know how that's going to work. They say just pull to the side, but that seems like
That's oh my god.
Yeah.
People will die from doing that.
Well, yeah. How you gonna pull to the side in I-5 when you're like, what exit is it? And you're like, or there's no shoulder.
Yeah, I guess you just go on the next immediate exit and fucking pray.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, well, I guess you should. I mean, logically just be able to pull off somewhere else safely and do that. But I mean, no one's gonna do that though. For
That's
God's
crazy,
sake,
right? I mean, well, just like cars have GPSs built into them. You're not allowed to use a GPS at all. That seems insane.
no. I mean, you can do that. It's the GPS on your phone.
What's the
they're
if you
targeting
have it
phones.
on a dock? What's the difference between that and one that comes built into the car?
Yeah, I Velcro it to my steering wheel.
Right?
It's like right there. Just like put it on there. So the airbag goes off. I'll probably lose an eye, but
And a phone.
and a phone.
Velcro phone.
More importantly, the phone. My phone. No.
He's lost an eye. He's lost a phone. He's lost his mind.
Oh man.
Well, yeah, I don't know how it's going to be handled. I guess we'll see in the coming months. I mean, they've already instated a no using if your phone's up to your ear. That's
Super
always
duh.
Right. That's been that way for like 5 years. So it's always been people on speakerphone or using Bluetooth or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it was like you couldn't use any kind of headset, even like a one-ear headset. It has to be through the car stereo. But I don't know. I guess I'm not a driver, so it's not really my ballpark. But it seems like it's very vague and
Yeah. Let's see how this plays out. You know, it might be like a traffic thing where like everyone drives 10 over, but
yeah. And especially the fine where it's like if you cause an accident, the fine's $400. Well, it makes sense if you're using your GPS and you're looking at your phone and not the road. Like, yeah, you should be fined. It's like drinking and driving. Like you should have to pay for that.
Yeah, it is rather hazardous because I've seen people even on the way over here like just literally staring at their phones while driving down, and I'm like, I don't do that.
That's crazy.
No.
I just like it's like a quick glance and then back to what you're doing.
Sure.
But people are sitting there texting while they're driving. It's like, dude, man, there is a thing to it. I mean, there might be some validity to this whole thing, but that seems rather steep. Fine.
Have you ever been pulled over in Oregon or Eugene?
Yeah, twice in Oregon. The first time I pulled out too fast from the merge. The Valley River Center. No, Delta Highway going to Green Acres Road. We're over the Beltline there, and there's a cop on a motorcycle right there, and I pulled out and pulled me over like instantly, and I was like, well, that guy was going really fast behind me. He's like, yeah, license. He's like, Jersey. What are you doing here? I'm like, well, yeah, why don't you have an Oregon license? So I pulled this file out, right? Because New Jersey's full of dicks. And like they're like the process of getting an Oregon license was so difficult because New Jersey thought I was Oregon thought I was somebody else. Anyway, there's another Michael McCarthy who in Jersey, born 10 days after me, who also has blue eyes. But weighs like 10 pounds less. Terrible dick person apparently. So
Bastard.
son of a gun. And anyway, so I gave him the file, and the cop's like, "Oh, wait, well." So my driving record from Jersey was on there, like failure to obey sign, like one thing. So he's like, he's cool about that. And the other time was because I didn't have my plates.
How do Jersey cops compare to Eugene or Oregon cops?
Oh, they're great, man. They're like zip tying people on the sidewalk.
In Jersey?
Cool.
Yeah.
That's great. That's what I need.
I used to play. I used to play a bar all the time, like in Lakewood, and dude, no, it doesn't matter. But they like every time we would play, like clockwork, like the fight would break out, and the police would show up, and then there'd be like people on the sidewalk, like zip tied, and I would step over them with my amplifier or my saxophone.
Nice.
Yeah.
You ever get that in Eugene, or like what's the best venue and worst venue you've ever played?
Best venue? Oh my gosh, I don't. Who knows?
Or maybe we just do the best.
God.
Or
In
the
Eugene?
worst. Yeah,
I mean, I used to like Oak Street a lot when I was around. It was like a solid place that was reliable, you know. And we used to go there all the time and play, but it's not there anymore. And Sandbox is great now. I like that place a lot.
Yeah, Whitaker has a pretty good music scene.
Yeah.
they got it going on.
Mhm.
It's it's too bad that it smells gross over there because
Smells gross?
Yeah, the beer.
the Ninkasi and also the mill. I don't mind the smell of the mill, but some people complain.
The mill smells a little bit like urine.
I get kind of like a wheat pasta sort of smell.
Yeah,
I
the
see-
whole hop thing is kind of intense down there.
Yeah, it's definitely the Ninkasi smells gross. I get it, but
And
it
you've
smells
played
gross.
happy hours before, right?
Happy hours.
Thinking of good times.
Oh yes,
Good times.
good times.
Times.
Good times. We went on River Road, right?
I think that's happy hours.
That's happy hours.
That's
Yes,
happy hours,
I
yeah.
played there. Yeah, I played with Heavy Chevy there. That's fun. That's like a regular bar band type thing. Like that's what I was doing. Like all East Coast stuff.
Do you usually play sax or guitar or bass or what?
Usually saxophone because that's like fighting with my right hand. You know, like Princess Bride is like I'm fighting with my left hand.
Oh, okay.
Sure, yeah.
The guitar is like my left hand sword work. You know?
So, Dan brought up the different kinds of sax. Are you kind of an alto guy? Do you have a couple? Do you bring like 7 to every gig?
No, just tenor.
Just tenor.
That's only
that's
ever.
the hottest one.
Yeah,
It's
that's
got the best range. It's big, so it's annoying to carry, but
yeah,
got
it's the
best
gooseneck
range.
one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's got that depth of sound that the alto doesn't have. The
Yeah.
alto is
Tenor just sounds better. There's a guy in town. I don't know his name, but I see him at like all these different local shows who play sax, and looks like Ron Jeremy every time.
oh yeah, Paul Biondi.
Yeah. Every
Yeah,
time
yeah.
he has like 8 saxophones and like 3 clarinets, and he does this thing where he has it's a soprano but it's shaped like an alto, so he plays both of them at the same time.
Right,
He's got
yeah.
like a joint mouthpiece.
Right,
Oh my God,
right.
it's
He does that.
crazy.
He does that all the time. I don't know. I didn't think that was possible. And I've heard stories of such things, and then when I came to Eugene, I saw him do it. I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
He's actually doing it. I'm like, God damn it.
He's fucking crazy.
That is crazy talk. And then he'll like take his saxophone, like one of the most valuable things that there is, and like he'll just like throw it into the air. He'll grab it by the neck, which is jointed, so it could pop
He
off
could just
easily.
flip right off. Yeah.
And he'll just take it and throw it into the air and catch it and put it on. I'm like, good God, that's like a $5,000 horn. Ugh.
Well, it's crazy watching him. I think every show I've seen him, he plays all of them, so it's not like it's unnecessary. But he'll show up and he'll get out like 2 flutes, 3 clarinet, like he'll get
Yeah.
out like 10 woodwind instruments, and you're like, that's a lot for one gig, dude.
Yeah,
Calm down.
he brings it all. You know what's cool about him, man? He's a really good guy, and he like helps out a lot of people to like get started and get playing and bring the community together. He's a pretty cool cat.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely seems like a cool cat.
But he does bring the arsenal, and he uses a bunch of them. Like,
I saw a show at the Wow Hall once. I don't remember the band. Probably not a good band. But they showed up and they had on the right side of the stage where there's sort of the curtain, but you can kind of see through it. They had a rack set up with 10 guitars on it, and they were all like Les Paul Studios, like $2,000 Les Pauls. One of them was that double neck guitar that Jimmy Page played.
oh yeah,
And they had like 3 Fender basses that I assume were pretty high end, but there were like 10 guitars. They did 1 guitar change during the show. I think it was like a broken string, so they had the roadie there. Just like $14,000 worth of guitars or whatever, and it's not like they played them all. There were different tunings or anything.
Yeah.
And they were all in these like intense steel cases that I'm assuming were just incredibly expensive. I've never seen a regular person gig with a steel guitar case that looked industrial.
It'll survive a nuclear blast.
Oh my God.
Your Telecaster would be fine, man.
I was like, dude, you guys are playing at the Wow Hall. People paid like $7 for your show. Like, calm down with your gear.
Well, speaking of venues, I was going to say, what's your favorite venue to see a show, and what's your favorite venue to play?
I like Hi-Fi is really cool right now. I played there and saw a show not that long ago. I think I saw the Neville Brothers recently.
Man,
Recently, like it was like probably like last year. I don't really get out much these days, but
I keep meaning to go. Zepparella came and I didn't go. Zepp again came and I didn't go. I'm like, hey, who wants to go see a Zepp one? And no one wants to come with me. And I'm like, well, I don't want to go alone.
well, I'll go with you because that sounds great. You know,
Right? A
An
Zepp again
all-girl
is
Zeppelin
awesome.
band. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Was Hi-Fi, did you play Hi-Fi or you saw a show at Hi-Fi?
I played Hi-Fi like the small stage not that long ago with a band that I'm putting together with some friends. It's a Tower of Power tribute band called POT Pot.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Instead of TOP, POT, fitting for Eugene. And we played
Tower of Tower.
that little funk jam that they have going on there on Wednesday nights with my friend Tim McLaughlin who runs
yeah,
that.
the one at Lucky's?
Not the Lucky's one, the hi-fi one.
There's a different one. There's different. I learned about the Lucky's one recently. I haven't played it yet. But
Lucky's is good too, man.
Yeah.
That's a good spot to go to.
Wednesday's just the funk night.
Yeah,
Eugene.
all the funk. So is the
Pretty sure it's Wednesday.
is the hi-fi one the same deal? Like you can just kind of show up and
Yeah.
stand in with them, sign up or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Lucky's might be a little bit more loose because it seemed like the hi-fi one was more put together when I was there.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, we can go after this, you know.
We could, yeah. I don't, I have not yet learned any like funk standards. I have to learn some funk standards.
Oh, well, yeah. I guess, I mean,
I can
you just pick a key and go.
Yeah, I mean, I can do that, like that's
Yeah.
fine. Just hang out. You're like, what do we do? We're doing like some kind of A situation. Well, that's
Sure,
fine.
yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, that's what's great about being a saxophone player is you sit back and let them all figure it out and then jump on top and ride the wave.
Right, exactly. That's the trick. Like if you want to go play bass or guitar with them, you like have to kind of learn one of the parts.
Yeah, know stuff.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, like, and it sounds fantastic when those guys do it, but I almost never play with a wah, and I don't own one. So whenever they're like chicka wow, I'm like, I have to work on like tapping the wahs. I have to practice with a wah before I play with those guys.
Yeah. That's a whole thing in itself, man.
Yeah, they got the technique down.
They do. They got all kinds of funky sounds on those keyboards, and I think it's Bobby Green back there playing keyboards and such.
Oh my god. All right. Well, speaking of funk, let's go to the break. And then we'll come back with another beer, some trivia, whatever else Dan put in the show notes.
Something else. Well, Michael's not just a musician, Lars.
Oh.
He is also a dreamer.
Well,
and a dream interpreter.
Yes.
Save that for the second half of the show,
That's
Dan.
what I'm saying. After the next beer, we're going to talk a little bit about something called dreams.
Playing, yeah.
That's one of the 10. Surround yourself with talented friends, and you yourself will become talented and get some of it.
Some sort of magic.
I hang out with my art friends who are way, way better than me, which is many of them. And I'm like, all right, this is good.
Yeah, man, that's great because everyone's better than me. So
Do you want to just do one verse, or are you gonna do the whole song?
Just a verse, What would you do if you sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Do you need anybody? You just need someone to love. Oh, do you meet anybody? Want somebody to love. I want somebody to love, yeah. I want somebody to love.
Yeah, thanks very much. My name's Ringo. I sang that song for the Beatles back in 1965.
Boy, yeah, and you have not shut up about it since. It's like, what? You haven't written any songs since?
I never wrote that. It was John's song, and he was kind enough to let me sing it.
Yeah, he did like to remind people when he wrote a song, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Let you know.
This little bitch.
Little prick.
No one likes him at all. He's a phone back because I forgot the words.
No, you have it here first. Ringo did not like John the whole time.
Yeah, true.
Well, I know when you were playing at the club back in Liverpool, you were playing for a different band, and you thought, wow, those Beatles are real trash, aren't they? But you sat in every once in a while, and they kicked out Pete Best, and because he was more attractive, and they needed an ugly person.
Yeah. I was the ugly one, So I cherry picked a good situation. I thought they were on the up and up. They're working really hard and that whole thing. So me and my big nose, and I just crept in there. I said, "Hey lads, would you rather have someone who's beautiful or an ugly twat from Liverpool?"
Still don't know what he's saying. I don't know who this guy is.
I'd say your drumming probably made up for it, but I try not to listen to the drumming on the Beatles records.
Sounds like Ringo's had a lot of ciders.
Oh, he's had a few, eh?
I mean, yes, he has.
Let's speaking of ciders, we've got one here now. And
I'd be really sad if I met Ringo one day. He's like, "I hate you."
He's like, "I heard your impression on this podcast. You were kind of a dick."
You
Thank
suck.
God.
First of all, it sucked, and then you're a dick. P.S. Peace.
I love you. Yes, I love you. And here is
Peace and
our
love.
theme music.
The peer-reviewed beer review.
All right, we are back on the beer review for actually cider review.
So again, our guest requested dry ciders, and this is the one that I knew. It's the Portland Cider Company, Kinda Dry.
Kinda Dry, 6.5% alcohol and 22 fluid ounces, which I recently learned is called a bomber.
Now,
What? A bomber?
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain in the 12-ounce bottles, the regular size, it's 6.9%. So I think that they water it down in the 22.
What does a bomber mean? I don't know.
I think
like
bomber
chug
is
it?
just a slang for 22 fluid ounces. Although it might be a step up. I don't know. What's the size bigger than 22?
24?
Well, there's the 40.
It's not a 40. So I think 22 is a bomber. This particular cider is blended in the spirit of traditional English cider. Light, clean, refreshing, with a pleasant finish.
Well, rather good, Chappie.
So I've got
You're just general Englishman now, or are you Ringo still?
Rather good, yeah.
I've still got a little bit of my old cider left, so I'm gonna just do a side-by-side comparison here.
Let's drink up, lads.
I've run out.
Bottle.
No, I meant the other one.
The first one was a little more fruity. This one is just this doesn't fuck around. It's just kind of a cider.
It's dry. It's dry as shit. So that's the thing, man. I had a friend who has family in Germany, and they say all the Germans drink dry cider, and the sweet shit is just bullshit. That's American bullshit. So if you want cider, real cider, it's got to be dry as hell. So it's not sweet at all, and I kind of like it a lot. Like the more and more dry I get, I'm like, yeah, it's like some sort of proper, it's in the same root of like liking black coffee and whiskey.
Oh, sure.
And spicy foods, and like
You wanna
dry
just
cider.
Fuck your palate up.
Did get double shot espresso before the episode.
That's right.
Now,
Keeps me
do
bright.
you have a favorite dry cider in town? Or
No,
not out of town?
I don't know anything about ciders except that they're dry, and the drier the better. There was one that was from Seattle that was particularly dry. I found it at one of those places like the Beer Stein, or
We found
the Beer Garden, or the Beer Place, the Beer Heaven, or the Beer Lot.
Before we were able to find the Portland Kinda Dry, we did find the Seattle Cider Co. Kinda Dry, which was almost the exact same name, but it's a show about Eugene.
So was it? Did you like it?
We didn't buy it. We bought this one instead.
Oh well.
It's at stores nearby.
For you to purchase nearby.
Who knows? Maybe we'll review it.
Maybe so. I mean, run out of ciders eventually around town.
What are you thinking, Daniel?
Somewhere we have to give these reviews quick because this episode might be long. I'm gonna give this 3.5. I thought you were gonna play that
classic
on guitar.
Daniel review.
There we go.
Wow,
You-
that was
you matched
3.5
it.
exactly.
I'm just a little boy.
No.
Wait.
Do it. Dance, monkey. No.
3.5 out of 5. Lars.
Yes.
And I'm gonna, you know what? I'm also gonna raise. This is gonna be a higher score because I don't think the last one, as after I did my side by side, I don't think it was very dry. And if they're gonna call it a dry cider, they should be dry. So for being very dry, I'm gonna give them 200 out of 300 possible stars.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna give it I think I'm gonna give it five strings.
Oh, that's good. That's a nice one.
That's a nice one right there.
Solid.
All kinds of, plus maybe a G major chord.
Oh wow,
Because-
5 strings plus a G major chord.
It's
Write that down, Daniel.
dry. It's kind of dry, but it's not. It could go full on a little bit more.
Dry as the pot plants that are being harvested this fall in Oregon.
Ooh, sad season.
Trimmers, all the trimmers out there listening to our podcast.
Hey, comment, like, subscribe.
Well, you're out there trimming. You gotta trim.
Trim.
Make lots of money. Smoke
Trim,
with him
trim.
and ham. Do, do,
Trim,
do,
trim.
do. Michael McCarthy.
Trim.
You can smoke with him after the party. Down, down, down. And Lars
Trim.
too. He
Trim,
doesn't
trim.
smoke, but he likes to drink gin. I am just a
Trim.
little podcast man. This
Trim.
is going
Trim.
downhill. Drink
Trim.
another beer.
let's
we're
get
gonna-
that for the promo.
So we're gonna edit that out, right?
no, we're gonna that's gonna be
No, that's headlines right
we'll
there.
cut it from the actual episode, but we'll promo
That's
the
like
shit
Trump
out of it.
throwing paper towels. And
That was dreamy. That last drum you played,
was
Michael.
dreamy, yes.
And you know what else? That makes me think about dreams.
Yeah, well, let's talk about dreams, and also don't forget, write the G. I want you to put the G major chord on his review. 5 strings plus the G. Just get like a chord chart. It's just
I don't know that.
just look up if you type G major chord and you go images, it'll be the first thing. It'll just be a chord chart for it.
yeah, you'll find it in JPEG or something.
Yeah, it'll be like a 3-2-1 situation, or is it a 2-1-3?
I get 2, 3, 4.
Oh yeah, I like that pinky because I'm not a fan of doubling thirds because I'm not. Yeah,
Yeah,
You gotta double that third, you know?
I mean, this is like the classic like cowboy G
that's yeah.
versus the classical G.
Of course, then you could do the you can do like you can do that like this to that, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are hot chords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah! I'm gonna sing a song for you. Oh yeah! It's like John Cougar Mellencamp and Tom Petty. Yeah, little Bruce Springsteen. Oh yeah!
I believe those chords are in Tangerine by Led Zeppelin as well.
Oh really?
I think so. Well, I think it's I think it goes G to this one to that one. It's the other direction, but it's the same chords.
So Michael, you not only are you a musician, but you're a dream fanatic, a dream interpreter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, all the things. I sort of like retired from music. I realized I got to a point where like I don't really care what people think anymore when I'm playing. I'm like, oh great, I'm on stage and zero fucks out there. Thanks a lot, people, for showing up because they don't care usually anyway. Which is my
Right.
usual experience with performing.
Oh, that's
if you come to see me
podcasting,
play, I love you. Thank you very much. However,
Well, there's two kinds of people, right? There's the people who aren't musicians and probably just think it sounds good no matter what you're doing.
yeah, there's
And
people who hire you for the third set and then put the coats on and leave while you're still contracted to a play
Yeah.
to the very end.
And then you get the musicians in the audience who are thinking things about your tone that aren't very nice.
Oh yes, they're like judging you and they go,
You're like, wow, you're gonna play the G chord
Oh, you picked
with
up a
the open B string and not with your ring finger on the D there.
Stratocaster's so fucking passe.
Jesus.
God, you need to get yourself some sort of like something with P90s in it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, guys. P90s. For all you listeners out there, you know the P90s and the thirds on thirds. Anyway, so dreams. Do you mean dreams? You mean goals, or do you mean dreams that we have in our sleep?
Dreams in your sleep, dreams in your unconscious mind. Dreams like a long time ago, about a year ago or so, I sort of got struck by lightning and I started dreaming uncontrollably. I was writing down 5 dreams a night for months and months on end. And I have printed them out and I have hundreds of dreams in a binder that I reference and look back upon and analyze and trying to figure out what is the thing that's happening everywhere in my mind.
You hear that cough? Was that in my head, or was that?
I thought I was like, was that real?
The mics won't pick it up.
Now you kind of skimmed over the part where you were struck by lightning. Is this true?
No, it was like proverbial lightning, you know, like lightning of Zeus sort of thing comes down out of the sky. I was like, I choose you. Why? I don't know. And I for whatever reason, I seem to be like the channel this sort of thing. So I hung up like trying to be a musician, and in the process became sort of a dreamer and dream interpreter. And I'm still new at it, but I have enjoyed the process nonetheless, and helped out some people along the way, from great and small dreams to being completely useless altogether. So.
Have you gotten better at lucid dreaming through your process of journaling your dreams?
Yeah, well, it's a funny thing because some of the dreams will be in my own apartment. So I'll lucid dreaming per se, not so much, but dreaming I'm in my own place. Yes, control of my dreams a little bit more. Now my dreams are more like having conversations with people. It used to be way more fantastic and crazy and far out and all that stuff, and now it's like actually just conversing with people who don't exist about things that are important to me. And it's a strange adventure, to say the least.
Well, prior to the episode, you asked Lars and I to come on with a dream of our own.
Dream,
perhaps dreams we've had reoccurring.
Yeah, those are usually the good ones.
Would you like to take a shot at my dream interpretation?
Yeah, well, yeah, let's give it a go. I mean, so a lot of it is I've found that through talking about these sort of things, and people
a lot of people are really concerned about their private thoughts and all that nonsense. It's not nonsense, actually. It's their own private thoughts. But the thing of it is that everyone has them, and I've found that through talking and studying that there's a sort of collective dream thing, and then through this psychology that I've been studying, Jungian psychology, I've learned that it is actually archetypical that you can have your own dream, but it fits into a greater, larger pattern of a system of the unconscious mind, which is really strange. But yes, do the thing.
Let me tell you about mine. So I don't have it all the time. It's been quite a while since I've had this dream. But my dream typically, and I'd say this happens a few times a year, but the fact that it reoccurs, usually I'm in some sort of house or big place that just every step I take down some stairs has another door, or has another room. And sometimes it's a place I'm familiar with, and it has like a secret room I'd never noticed before. I'll go down that, and basically it seems like an endless room, an endless house that keeps getting bigger and bigger. It goes deeper and deeper. I've actually physically been in houses like that, and it trips me out because it's surreal. I feel like I'm in a dream.
Yeah.
When I go to houses that just seem to have another basement, another door. And Lars, living in a funky house like this, you've experienced a little bit where like, why is that there? And then it goes into another door.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that typically happens if you've ever read the book House of Leaves. It's technically a horror novel. Some people would classify it as. And that book creeps me out. It hits me on a deep, deep level. I've experienced that in my dreams.
Horror movies do that really well. Like they find like the Babadook, I think is probably the most exemplary example of the nightmare. I've had, so your house dream and that movie combined are a lot of like the nightmares I used to have about 10 years ago or so was the house. So everyone has a house dream. This is also very true. It's like it's a common occurrence.
Kind of like the tidal wave dreams.
Yes, the tidal wave dreams too.
What are tidal wave dreams? What's this about?
Tidal wave dreams, house dreams. So the house, first of all, the house is a good representation of one's psyche, one's own mind, and the compartments in the house are the compartments of your own mind. There's ego, there's the id, there's the super ego, and the different levels indicate your different levels of thought and how you're processing. So going down doesn't mean necessarily a bad thing, and going up doesn't necessarily mean a good thing. But as you go down, you're accessing lower and lower and lower levels of your own unconscious mind, which I think is interesting in your dream, where you go down and down and down and find more and more rooms. Where I had the same dream in my own house dream. I kept going down, but my house, I always was chased by some sort of monster. This was sort of a strange thing, and when I got down to the lowest level, it locked me into the basement, and I was trapped down there in this giant basement with a dirt floor, and I found myself in the house that always was a recurring dream. And I looked back at the door, and the door shut, and then the lights went out. And I was like, oh God, I'm trapped in this place, in my house, and with this monster. And it revealed itself with its giant teeth and everything. And I was like, oh my God, it's going to eat me. So I summoned, like, Goku from Dragon Ball Z. I summoned, like, loads of light, and I blasted it. And I never had that dream since. Only to reoccur later to find out that the monster itself was my own totem animal, which is helpful in dreams.
Kind of like Inception?
Oh, yeah, I got that.
Yeah. And it helps. It helped me. Like it was some sort of entity or some sort of like function in a dream in the dream world that helped me move on beyond what I needed to do, and became better at it and that sort of thing. So your house, yes, your house. You're in the house. You're doing the thing. You're going downstairs, and it's a recurring dream. But is there anything else that happens beyond that?
I'm both fascinated and kind of I enjoy finding these new rooms. And sometimes it ends at like the rooms get kind of creepy, but not really. It's more just a fascination with how the rooms keep going on and on.
Yeah, isn't that fascinating though? You're like, I know what you mean. Like, there's definitely loads of houses I used to dream about where the hallways are strange and rooms are uneven and like sort of like Tim Burton looking like Beetlejuice stuff. And you walk in and you go, wow, crazy, and then exploring all the facets of like inner facets of your mind that you're exploring, different realms you're just still trying to explore. But you're going down is good because you're getting more and more conscious with the other side of you, which is the unconscious mind.
Maybe that's how I feel because, in my own professional life, I am finding I'm still kind of searching for what I want to do in my artistry. And I kind of enjoy it all, but I'm also like right now I'm doing social media, which isn't something I expected. I'm not closing the doors on the other things, but social media is where I'm at. It might not sound exciting, but I'm kind of enjoying the
Yeah, I think what is it? 10 years apart between us about that. So yeah, about 10 years ago was the same thing for me. Like as I was exploring the music scene and trying to get into doing my own thing, I had a lot of the similar dreams, and that's part of the path is developing out of the drone state of mind, which is like you wake up and eat McDonald's, and then you go, okay, no to that society, and you go become the artist, and you develop that more and more and more. And as you're developing the artist, then there's another level beyond that. This sort of integration of conscious and unconscious mind.
The listeners should know we have smoked zero weed.
Zero weed?
Prior to this. This is just...
Even though I requested it, none was delivered.
We can get you some. This is Eugene.
I want weed on my pizza.
Michael comes to the studio. He's like, "So should we smoke a joint?" And,
Yeah.
And Dan and I don't have any pot, and we're like,
What
"Well,
the F?
no, but you can if you want to." And he's like, "Oh, I don't have any."
Lars,
He invited himself to smoke our joints that we don't have, which is, I mean, if I was going to do a podcast for free, I would feel the same.
Well, I was teaching, I don't want to bring like weed into someone's house. It's not a bad idea.
cool, man.
I don't know. Usually,
No, it is a bad idea.
maybe not so much anymore, but I remember one or two times when I went to my guitar teacher's house and it was pretty hot boxed in there, and I was like, all right, this is weird.
No. Yeah, you can't have that, man. One thing is one thing, like I wouldn't show up drunk to a lesson, so showing up stoned is a terrible idea too. Yeah.
So I understand the house dreams. What is a tidal wave dream though? I'm not sure I've had one of those.
Well, I would think so a lot of there's a thing as I pour more
Go for it. Yeah,
into my cup from
the goal of
this.
the show. Just pour the rest of the bottle. The goal of the
There
show
you
is to
go.
kind of just get drunk.
It's
and
your
then-
gift to the show. You brought it in. You deserve it.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks very much.
Yeah.
I deserve it. Thanks.
You deserve
you,
it. Treat
me.
yourself.
So as a metaphor for this cup, like the mind has active and passive elements to it, and the passive elements are frequently symbolic or symbolized in water or liquid, and an ocean itself is the embodiment of the entirety of one's unconscious mind. So when it wells up and overtakes the land, it is the unconscious mind being like, "Oh my God, pay attention to me. You're ignoring me." I've had the same thing too. My own mind where I've had a tidal wave show up, or I was at a coastal town. Actually, I think it was like in Florence or something like that, and a tidal wave came up and engulfed me, and I was underwater looking at all the shops, and I came out with a new pair of shoes. I lost a pair of shoes. No, I lost a pair of shoes, and I was gifted a new pair without any soles. What does that mean? It means I have to earn that soul, I guess. Which is true, actually. I had to earn that soul.
I've never had a tidal wave dream where I gained something out of it.
Yeah, usually it's a freaking disaster, right?
Usually it's an experience of death and you wake up. At least for me.
Oh, yeah, getting washed away? Yeah, there was one dream where I succumbed to being swept away by waves. And the odd thing about dreams is usually one does not feel, smell, taste things.
Mm-hmm.
But in this dream, I was engulfed by the sensation of water around me, which is really, really unusual, which makes one pay attention to, what's happening, I suppose, rather than not.
Well, I'll tell you, I used to have some pretty weird dreams, which is that I think for whatever reason, I cannot possibly fall asleep unless I'm like face down, like straight face down. So I would have a lot of sleep paralysis, right? Paralysis.
Oh, that's the worst.
Right, I would wake up, and then still be asleep. And a lot of times, I think it was because I like physically couldn't move my face because it was face down. So I'd be in a car and I'd be like trapped and not be able to push my way out. And I wouldn't say I'm a what's that called? Subconscious, where you're like awake thing. What's that? You said it earlier.
Lucid dreaming.
I wouldn't say I'm a lucid dreamer, but I've definitely I have some control over my dreams because I used to have to like force myself to wake up while I was paralyzed, which was, oh God, that's a stressful thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I die in dreams very often anymore. I think I just kind of wake up before I would die. And I think part of that is like because I have some control. Not all the time, but I feel like when I do dream, a lot of the time I feel like I know I'm dreaming, but I'm not really in control of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like the sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
Is what they call the hypnagogic state in psychology, in which one is aware of what's happening and yet powerless to move one's body.
Mm-hmm.
And also in the physical sciences, they say there's a certain chemical that's released in one's brain where you're unable to move. You're literally paralyzed from that in that state. But the most interesting things happen in that state of mind.
Mhm.
Like the most interesting dreams happen, the most interesting visions. Like I've seen visions of spiders in my room, like climbing the walls. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Really scary.
It's terrifying shit.
Mine's forces I can't see, but I've straight up just heard demonic children running around, like a demonic child running around me going, yeah, and like getting close to me, but I can't do anything or see it.
Oh my goodness.
I always get the
We should talk some more about this.
like
for
I
God's sakes.
realize
No, we gotta keep those demons.
No, you bring them to light. Embrace them.
I always get the when I get sleep paralysis, which isn't as much anymore. I realize that I'm in a dream, and I think that's I don't lucid dream because I freak out and try to wake myself up. Wake myself up, and then I'm still asleep. I'm like in the paralysis state, so then I'm like lying there in black, trying to I can't move anything, and that's a stressful place to be. Oh my god,
That's terrifying.
that's awful. Why? Who would in Humans 2.0? Can we take that out? That's a bug I
You
don't
ever
like.
remove that bit? Yeah. Fix that bug, goddammit. Because that shit sucks. No one likes that. No one ever wants to be in that spot. But it is the most elucidating into one's own being and one's own mind when that's happening and what you see, think, and feel. The threshold between consciousness and unconsciousness, that very fine line is the very place which you can actually communicate with the other side of yourself. And the other side of yourself is the dream world.
Mhm.
You know, you're awake, you're doing anything. Your ego says, blah, 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 I'm so important. And then you go to sleep and your unconscious mind is like, you're not that important. Not special. Oh, god damn it, why? And you have to wrestle and deal with that sort of things. And then the nightmares and the paralysis and all those things will help. They're trying to show you something about yourself which you don't want to recognize and don't want to deal with. And the more frequently that's happening, the more terribly it's happening, the more it's obvious that you need to do proper self-reflection, in that sort of aspect, which is hard to do, which no one wants to do in the right mind. Oh, I'm gonna sit around and self-reflect. Good idea.
Most people don't meditate enough, and it probably catches up in their dreams.
It does. It's exactly right, because ignoring the dark parts of yourself does not make you a better person.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pull them out, love them. It's like, well, yeah, I'm a terrible person, but I love myself instead. It's okay. And you give it a big hug and put it away. And like the Babadook, you put it in the basement and you feed it.
Mhm.
You feed it every once in a while. You have to constantly feed it. You feed it little bits of dirt, and it's terrible. It's like, rah, I'm still in the basement. You're like, yeah. It's okay. I love you. Here's a little bowl of dirt. There you go. And you take it. Goodbye. And
Good. I never really thought of the Babadook that way. I mean, I love the Babadook, but I didn't think of it so much as subconscious level.
it is an excellent example of what Jung, the psychologist, calls the shadow. It is out there, and it gets closer and closer and closer. If you ignore it, it knocks on your door, gets into your house, gets into your mind, and you have to deal with it. And once you deal with it in a proper way, it is still there. It never goes away. Like your animal being, your shadow being, your hideous self, your other self that you don't want to show to the world is still and always there. So what you do is you put it in the basement and you feed it little bits of dirt every once in a while, and it gets really happy that it has a thing. It's happy that it's recognized. It's happy that it has a place to live. But it's no longer in control and no more dominating your life to the point of like constantly being afraid of everything. That's a hard part to be in.
Existential subconscious Michael McCarthy, the
There we go.
dreamer.
Oh my god.
Like a little ditty right there.
One more time with the mic on. There it is.
There it is.
Let's Daniel. Actually, not Daniel. You know what? Fuck you. I'm not talking to you. Go
Don't
away.
look at me.
Michael, you might have been sitting here going, why is there a bucket in this room?
I like the sharp transition from the inner depths of the human soul
To a bucket.
We got a prize bucket.
We're low on time. Let's move to the prize bucket.
It's an interesting translation. The human soul can be contained in a bucket.
Wow.
Have you been thinking to
Symbolically.
yourself, hey, there's a bucket in this room at all at any point?
I saw you guys walking up with a bucket. I was wondering what the bucket was for.
Well,
I thought you were making food.
You might think that because it is a bucket of kitchen utensils.
Yeah.
What it is instead is the next segment of our show, which is we in the past have been accused of being a show called What Up Eugene, in which we don't really talk about Eugene. So we're doing Eugene/Oregon trivia. You answer some questions, we'll edit some fun music in, and
Oh boy.
you get a prize, assuming you win, which you will because we're trying to get rid of the things.
Because you're a bucket full of shit.
You get to pick your prize out from the bucket.
Yeah.
All right.
Love it.
Michael McCarthy. Are you
we
ready?
doing- what's our format? Are we doing true or false? Or
Yeah, what is it?
No,
what is
you
the
know
name
what?
of the
Last
game here?
episode was true or false. This one's basically name that.
I would say true or false was too easy last time, except for Carlos got some of those answers really wrong.
All right.
Yo,
well,
I don't know shit about this town. It's amazing for living here for 10 years. It's profoundly ignorant about the place in which I grew up.
let's hope you've learned. Here we go with Eugene Trivia Prize Bucket Challenge. Cue the music, Lars. All right.
I have to
Michael
edit so much stuff in this episode.
Yeah.
Michael McCarthy.
You got work.
Question 1. What are Eugene's 2 most well-known nicknames?
Fuck, I don't know that.
Oh, Tracktown
1.
and the Emerald City.
Correct.
Oh, did I get it right?
Wow.
1 out of 5 so far.
Wow.
How many does he need to?
He needs
win
2 out of 5 to win, Lars.
2 out of 5.
2 out of 5. Here we go.
So you could fuck up 3 times if you want.
I can fuck up all night long.
I would honestly.
I'm not sure I need anything from that bucket, but I would like it.
Of course you would.
I should edit this so that if he does get the next one right, I'll just put it at last to make it look like like it's tense.
Oh, I like that.
That's right.
I'm not going to.
Except I'm on a number at question 2. Michael,
I can cut wherever I want.
what famous movie was shot at the Dexter Lake Club just outside of Eugene?
I've played there. It's a fun place to play. Animal House was shot there.
Correct.
Well, okay. 4 out of 5. You get 2 items.
Yeah, wow.
That
There
works.
we
Yeah,
go.
we got
Doubling
the
it now.
Annie.
Yeah.
You have to get
We
5
dance
out of
with
5.
your dates.
Question 3, Michael. Fill in the blank. The Oregon state flag is the only state flag to...
Have 2 sides to it.
Correct
Holy shit!
again.
I did not. What? Do we have a state
Yeah.
flag?
Oh,
Who knew?
thank God you're
We're a
never playing
state.
this. You would never win any prizes.
I have plenty of kitchen utensils. You don't even understand the
Oregon
boxes.
likes beavers too.
So far,
Wait, is it just like a duck on one side and a beaver on the other?
Oh man, there's just a beaver on one side.
And what's on the other side?
The state emblem.
Oh,
you're a disgrace
The
to Oregon, you
seal.
know that?
why would I? Yeah, well,
Well, you drive past the flag one day and you're like, wow, it's cool and blue, and there's a beaver on it. You can drive past the flag another day and it's like, well, there's an emblem on it. And you have to go, what?
am I driving past the state flag?
I guess there's not many state flags flying around here.
Guys, this Who Wants to Be a Millionaire theme can't last forever.
He
Sorry.
can. I just copy and paste
So we're going to
it.
move on to question 4. What legendary University of Oregon runner was killed in Hendricks Park by an automobile?
Good God, I don't know that one. Hendricks Park? Runner?
My guess?
Famous legendary runner.
Yeah, just
the
name
only-
the one runner you know.
The only one I know is Prefontaine.
Correct!
Yes,
Can't
got
believe
right.
it.
Here's the
Yes.
thing. You would be our first person to ever get all 5.
All 5
If
in a
you
row.
get this final one, and this one, strangely, might be the trickiest.
And you know what? I'm going to say this for Daniel without his permission. You get the whole bucket.
He does not. We need that bucket.
That's true. It's our prize bucket.
All right, Michael.
Denied.
Question 5. The final question. You're 4 for 4.
All right, yeah.
What is the state beverage of Oregon?
The same
shit.
beverage. Oh man.
Oh,
Who
fuck.
knows? Well, I'm gonna have to take a while again. I mean, it's gotta be beer.
Final answer, Mike.
Don't do that to me. God damn it.
Ooh. Do you want to phone a friend?
Yeah, I could. Can I?
Yeah.
Is that loud?
I'll allow it.
Ding! Hello. I'd like to get some help on this question. Lars, could you help me out?
Umpqua delivers this beverage.
Oh my God, milk? Really?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
It is milk.
Oh my god.
5 out of 5. Michael McCarthy.
Wow. Number 1 in the hood.
Number 1 trivia so
Milk?
far.
Milk?
Okay,
Milk.
you have to understand this was like 100 years ago.
Oregon has a lot of unofficial state symbols, but they still count on the list on Wikipedia and all these list sites. And milk is the state beverage.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Milk.
Milk.
Yeah. Well, come to Oregon. Yeah. Milk.
Known for our milk.
Yeah. Good job. All right.
Well, Michael, you got your pick of the litter here in the box.
Well, yeah,
the
yeah.
bucket.
At least 2 and possibly 5 things. Really go to town on there.
I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
This is full of all kinds of
If I were you, I would take the bucket and leave the utensils.
I mean, there's like a
That
stapler
bucket,
in here.
there's like $20 to $30 worth of things in there.
Oh,
Well,
ice
no,
cream
no, no, no.
scoop. I need an ice cream scoop, actually.
Oh, god
Why
damn
did you
it.
not take those out, you asshole?
Oh, no. You know what? You can have the ice cream
Yeah,
scoop.
give it to him.
Right.
He won. Dad's always like, don't take the ice cream scoop. He forgets to tell people that.
Right. There's 2 ice cream scoops. I think both ice cream scoops.
No, you only get one. That's the deal.
I will say this. We had a guest previously claim both ice cream scoops, and Daniel just left them in the bucket.
That's a good rubber spatula.
Yeah, it is pretty good. I have loads of. I got silicone.
The way you looked at me when you said that. All right.
Silicone's better, Daniel. It's better conducting.
Yeah.
Conductivity.
Well, Michael's still looking through that bucket.
We'll edit most of this episode out. That's good. When we're done editing, it's just going to be the ice cream scoop sound.
Michael, the ice cream scoop.
Ringo, do you want to pick something? I do. I like the funnels.
I knew it. I was hoping Ringo was going to go for the funnels because I was hoping he'd say funnel.
It's funnel cakes.
Yo, Ringo, I hope you enjoy that. And that will be the end of What Up Eugene.
Now, I will say, just so people are clear, he got to take 4 funnels in a scoop, but he got all 5 questions right. So can you blame him? Nailed it.
That makes sense to me. Good enough for me.
Let's talk about goings on in this town, Daniel. What is goings on?
I'll tell you what's goings on here in Eugene. The
Oregon.
Frituary is open October 6th, every Thursday through Saturday up till Halloween, and from then it runs Monday to Wednesday.
What is that?
The Frituary, it takes place at Lane County Fairgrounds or Lane Event Center.
Oh, shit, I've been there.
It is Eugene's top Halloween scare now that Lone Pine no longer does their spooky night.
Oh, right, yeah. It's just like a corn maze without being scary. What's the value in that? Fuck you, Lone
Different
Pine.
owners, different management, but the Frituary, I hear it holds much promise. It's Eugene's only
It was pretty good.
Is it
haunted
the
house.
same place as the Lone Pine Farms thing?
No.
Or is it different?
No, this one's
just-
at Lane Events.
yeah.
Lone Pine has their.
Where's
their
the Lane
maze.
events?
It's the fairgrounds. Is where the holiday market and stuff is held.
Oh, 13th?
Yeah, 13th,
in,
yeah.
Jackson or
Yeah, 13th in a couple blocks.
Washington. Or
Goes for a while.
Lincoln, Jefferson,
Washington,
Lincoln,
Jackson,
yeah,
the whole
center.
9 yards.
drive off the highway. There.
If you're on 13th, you've probably been there.
Right. Also, October 12th through the 15th, Eugene's 72-hour horror film fest is going on again. I myself am not entering as a filmmaker, but I will be helping out with editing or whatever else. I think Michael might be as well.
Yeah, I'll do it. You know,
Yeah.
someone gives me a buzz, I'll be.
Can I ask you a question, Daniel, and I'll edit out if the answer is no?
Sure.
Did you get coffee with the cops today?
You mean October 2nd?
Is it? Yes.
We missed it. No, I did not.
Wait, I
It's
thought
not
it
that
was
I
a
didn't want
Wednesday.
It's not that I didn't want to. I just forgot about it.
Okay, well, the cops in Eugene, you forget they're there. Unless
You know
you're
what?
talking on your phone and driving.
I guess I was
That's a
distracted. I
callback.
forgot about it. Lastly, Drink and Draw, as I always advertise as Mondays at 9 p.m. at Cornucopia 5th and Pearl, might be changing to a different event. And I was telling you about this earlier. It might become Magic Monday,
Magic
as in
Monday.
Magic the Gathering.
Oh, shit. I know that. I'm familiar with that. I sold my Magic
Right.
cards to buy this shit.
They're still playing around with it. Cornucopia
Ready to
right
go.
now is doing Wednesday night
okay,
Magic card
hold on.
games, but it might become Monday.
So explain. Are we talking modern, standard, draft, limited, legacy? Like, what are we doing here? Sealed?
All I know is something about 60 cards and a host or sort of lead card.
Are we playing 60 card? Oh, 60 card commander.
Might be
Is it
Commander.
tiny leaders? I'll fucking kill myself if it's tiny leaders. That's not a real format. I will, and everyone in this room. No,
I'm not a Magic.
Ladies and
It's not
gentlemen,
my.
Mars is freaking out about it.
It's not my cup of tea,
Serious
but I
deal.
will continue to manage the
Okay.
Cornucopia
Well,
Magic
I'll
night.
tell you what. If it's 60 card casual, I'm going to show up, but you wish I wouldn't.
Drop it.
Well, I won't be there. I don't play
Drop
Magic.
it like it's hot.
Want to go?
What's
Actually,
up,
My
yo?
casual deck is super.
I get
sweet.
my white
It uses,
red deck.
Spellheart Chimera and Twin Flame to just blow you out of the water.
Michael, do you have anything going on in the happenings of Eugene, or anything you want to spread out there about yourself?
Yeah, man. I'm playing every Monday at Sambons with my friend Richard Crandall, and we play before bingo starts. Bingo, people are like, oh yeah, boo bingo, but this is not regular bingo. This is not your grandmother's bingo. This is comedic bingo with Tom and Chad every Monday night at Sambons at 9. Richard and I play at 7:30 before that starts. That's a constant thing. That's a regular thing. And then I'll be popping up every now and then with different bands, and different venues, and things like that.
Michael McCarthy, how it sounds like it's spelled. Do you have an Instagram?
Your social media you'd like to pimp?
Oh man, I retired from social media. I'm terrible with that sort of shit.
He's off the grid. Well, you know what, folks, you can find him Sandbon's Monday nights for the bingo.
Yeah, creeping around the corner.
Hit him up for some guitar
Possibly
lessons.
funk nights on Wednesday nights at Hi-Fi every now and then.
Or the other funk night on Wednesday.
Lucky's too.
Lucky's, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, if you're feeling funky from, I don't know, like 2 to 2 a.m., just go somewhere in Eugene on Wednesday. You'll probably find some. There's a guy who plays saxophone downtown all the time. He's always there. You can hear him. He's by the parking garage. Just hang out. Just play some funk with him.
It's probably Jared.
Probably.
Like us on SoundCloud. Follow us on Instagram. We could use all the help we can get.
Okay,
Those porn bots are doing all the work.
We actually, our last 3 followers on Instagram have been porn bots. It's really sad. I haven't reported them because they're adding to our account.
Yeah, they're kind of sexy, right? That's the other part.
Yeah.
It's just like
fuck-me.bid.
Yes, please.
one of our top listeners.
Yeah, she loves it.
Don't bite the hand that feeds.
So at Lars in the studio, that's gonna be me on Instagram. Of course, if you want to follow Dan, that's at DanKoss, KOSS. You do it twice. You're going to peer-reviewed.beerreview.tumblr.com. Yes, that is a mouthful. whatupeugene.tumblr.com. You're at soundcloud.com/momentsagostudios. If you would like to communicate with us and SoundCloud comments and Instagram and Tumblr comments aren't where you want to be, you send an email. That could be however private or unprivate you want it to be. You send an email to momentsagostudios@gmail.com. We have received 0 real authentic emails. If you send one, we will read it aloud on air, even if it's really embarrassing and you tell us not to.
Yeah.
And we will reply and we will trash you or not.
Or celebrate you.
Yeah,
You're considered the only one.
You'll be the first.
Congratulations.
We'll give you the studio.
Speaking of celebrations, it was great having you on, Michael. I
Thanks for having
celebrate
me.
your presence here on Moments Ago Studios.
Hold
Yeah.
on. You can't be a Eugene titled show and talk about celebrations and not be like, hey, where'd the Eugene celebration go?
It's dead, Lars. Let it go.
I can't let
I
it
know. That was my favorite, man.
go. The Keezies took it away from us.
God, I got...
Thanks for listening, folks.
Yeah, bye.
Moments Go Studios.